Superman Legacy is set to release on the 11th of July 2025. A couple of weeks ago we got the news from James Gunn himself that the movie was officially in pre-production. This means that the script is done and producers are ready to hit the ground running. There is still a lot we do not know about this movie. However, as the days tick by, more and more information is starting to come to the forefront. As most know, Superman Legacy will kick off the brand new Gods and Monsters DC Slate. Under this brand new slate, we can expect at least 10 projects. The exact details of the projects are still unclear though. However, most expect James Gunn and DC to follow in the footsteps of Marvel. When James Gunn became CEO, he made it clear that DC had no structured storyline, something that he is determined to change. Over at Marvel, they tell a very structured story across TV and movies. Right now, Marvel is setting things up for an all-new Avengers movie. The main villain of this movie will be Kang the Conqueror. We were first introduced to Kang, not in a movie but in a Disney Plus series. He made his debut in Loki and from there transitioned over to Ant-Man. The point is, if you are a Marvel fan, every series and movie is a must-see. If you miss one, you might miss part of the story. DC is set to follow that same model. You can expect actors to make appearances across a multitude of series and movies. When it comes to Superman Legacy, the tone of the movie has been a big point of discussion. Many fans are not exactly sure what they need to expect. Superman, at least in recent years, has always had a bit of a darker undertone. This is especially true for the 2013 Man of Steel movie. James Gunn, on the other hand, is not known for his dark style movies. In fact, he loves to do the complete opposite. He is a big fan of movies that have a bit of a lighter comedic tone to them. Guardians of the Galaxy, Peacemaker, and Suicide Squad share this comedic undertone. With this in mind, many fans have wondered in what direction Superman Legacy will lean. In a brand new interview with Hollywood Reporter, James Gunn put all of those concerns to rest. He made it very clear that Superman Legacy will not be a comedy movie. He describes the movie as much darker than any of his other projects. Doing a Superman movie is obviously extremely challenging. This will be the first time that Gunn is expected to take a mainstream superhero and make a movie. All of his previous projects involved lesser-known characters. Superman is arguably the biggest and most well-known superhero. Doing his story justice will not be easy. Additionally, no one wants to see another origin story. Gunn made it clear that he had no intention of retelling the story. I believe that Superman Legacy will follow a similar model to that of Robert Pattinson's The Batman. That movie did a good job of telling a new story without going through the whole original again. Tom Holland's Spider-Man did an equally good job with this. When it comes to who the next Superman will be, well, that is still unclear. James Gunn made it clear from the beginning that no casting choices will be considered until the movie script was completely done. Since that portion of production is now done, an announcement about the cast is expected to follow soon. As of right now, there is still no clear sign of who might be cast to play the all-new Man of Steel. Whoever it is will have their work cut out for them. This new actor is following along in some massive footsteps left by Henry Cavill. Many fans are still reeling from the news that Cavill will no longer be Superman. Unfortunately, his ousting was not done in the best of ways. Fans have felt for years that DC disrespected the actor. In all honesty, it is easy to understand why. He only ever got one solo movie. He was made to sit around unutilized for years. After being told he would be returning as the Man of Steel, he was let go a few weeks later. In the back room, however, producers were working on a new Superman script for years. Cavill never got his storybook ending like other superheroes. Christian Bale got to say goodbye to Batman. Robert Downey Jr. got a hero's goodbye for Iron Man. Chris Evans got to end his Captain America story in a great way. That just never happened for Henry Cavill. With that, Gunn said that he has some incredible choices lined up for the next Clark Kent. By this point, he has likely narrowed his choices down to a few. We can likely expect an announcement by the end of the year. Besides who will be the next Man of Steel in the upcoming Superman Legacy movie, there are also a few other unanswered questions. This movie will not be an origin story. Do not expect Superman's first battle to be against General Zod. Instead, many expect Lex Luthor to make his return. Now, whether he is going to be the main villain for Superman or just a side villain remains to be seen. The last time we got to see Lex Luthor was in the 2016 Batman vs Superman movie. This version of the villain was played by Jesse Eisenberg. To say that his performance was not very well received would be an understatement. Many felt like he was trying to imitate the Joker instead of Lex. Before that, it was of course Kevin Spacey who played the villain in the 2006 Superman Return movie. While his performance was praised, the movie overall did not perform very well. Besides Lex Luthor, there is a number of other villains that James Gunn can tap into. Right now, most fans are looking for something fresh. Having a brand new villain that has not appeared in movies before would be great. Villains like Brainiac would be perfect. In fact, setting up Brainiac for a Justice League showdown is not a bad idea. Alternatively, James Gunn can follow the Batman model and introduce multiple villains at once. It is a great model that can actually do a lot to set up future DC stories. It is expected for Superman Legacy to start filming very early in 2024. Since the movie is slated to release in June of 2025, there is still plenty of time to get everything sorted. It is also worth pointing out that big movies like this oftentimes get delayed. I am sure James Gunn and DC will do everything in their power to avoid any type of delay. Since this movie is supposed to set off the rest of the DC slate, a delay with this movie will result in all other projects being delayed as well. Hopefully, everything goes according to plan and we get a great Superman Legacy movie.